This was in a San Francisco campus. People actually approached this kid about his hair.
You're saying that I can't have a hairstyle because of your culture? Why?
Because it's my culture. You know it blocks me.
Do you know it was in Egyptian culture? Are you Egyptian? Nah, bro, you're not.
See that?
Are you Egyptian?
No, but it doesn't matter.
Wait, where's Egypt?
I have.
Do you notice that she said you can't have the haircut because it's my culture? I want to ask anyone who's listening, if you're listening or watching that, where it says you can't, where the young lady says to the young man, you can't have that hair because it's my culture. How broken are you as an individual that someone wears a hairstyle and you are hurt by it? How broken have you allowed our culture to make you that you would stop someone in the hallway in college and go, how dare you wear the hairstyle of my culture? And how is that even a thing? Imagine how broken you, as an individual, that you look like and go, oh my God, he's got my hair. I'm destroyed. Wow, you are broken as an individual.
Nah, bro, you're not.
Are you Egyptian?
No, but it doesn't matter.
Wait, where's Egypt?
I have certainly been told, made aware in no uncertain terms, that hairstyles that I've had that have been deemed too black are not appropriate for that situation. So
Yep, that's true.
again, when you see a white person who's able to just kind of experiment with these hairstyles as though they're some sort of costume and isn't subject to any of the same stigmatization that a black person might be, it's very frustrating.
So let me get what she just said. What she said was, in case you missed that, well, in my life, I've been told that some of my hairstyles are inappropriate or wrong for business or not professional. That's true. That absolutely has happened. 100%. That's true. That's a real thing. She said, and then to have some white person be able to do it, you know, like some kind of costume. What is a hairstyle? It's a costume. What do people use hairstyles for? To either show off or to, why do skinheads shave their head? To show they're part of the club or whatever the case may be. Why in the world would that be a bad thing? How is that a bad thing? And she's like, well, they get to do it without this. So now everyone should be punished like you were punished? This goes back to my earlier point. Do I want to punish the white person, or do I want to have the white person help me change a system? That is probably the better bet, isn't it? If I don't like the fact that someone might look at my dreadlocks and go, dreadlocks, I don't like that. Shouldn't I instead say, hey, man, why don't you view me for me and not my dreadlocks? And we'll be fine versus going, now no one can have dreadlocks except for me. That's what she's saying. And somehow she's seen as righteous for that. But there is some good news. This is the UK, BBC. This is the UK. They're talking about dreadlocks in the barbershop.
Listen up, everybody.
At this busy mixed barbershop in London this evening, the reaction to the Bieber Barnett furore seemed to be, keep your hair on.
Keep your hair on.
I wish I had that amount of hair, right, Luke? I think, why not? I think if you've got hair, you can do whatever you want to do with it.
Now, I want to be clear. Most of these people are like, whatever, just do your hair, right? And this is the biggest issue. The people who are becoming so hard on this, who are fighting so hard on this, they're alienating everybody else. And for those of you who are watching, if you're Republican, you might go, the Democrats are this, Democrats are that. The average Democrat doesn't think this way. I know many of them. The average Democrat does not think this way. They are a very, very loud minority. Very loud minority. That's a lot of, you see it. You watch Fareed Zakaria. I'm sure you get mad at this. Smirkanish is Democrat. He's walking away. Bill Maher is walking away. You are seeing Democrats going, this is just too far for me. They're like, I hated Trump, but I don't want to go here. And that's where the Democrats are going. And this is the UK, but the sentiment is common.
Oh, they look pretty. Yeah, I think they look nice.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I think the crossover between cultures, isn't it? Because it's predominantly known as a Afro-Caribbean type of thing.
It looks a bit more like a punk, doesn't it?
Look at that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the black guy's okay with it. The Asian woman's okay with it. The white guy's okay with it.
Yeah, like,
That looks a bit punky.
Yeah, you know, it's not like neat, like Rasta or anything.
I mean, he's like okay with it.
Neater ones here.
Oh, geez.
He's like,
they're not
whatever.
too good there.
He is copying the black style of dreads, I suppose. You could look at it like that, but he's sort of changed it up a bit. I mean, it's, as I say, it's like Mick Hucknall and Boy George. They tried to do something like that.
So now the black woman's like, yeah, I don't really like it much. You could, but look, Boy George did it. And for those of you who aren't old enough to know who Boy George was, some of us are old enough to remember Boy George. Boy George was a very popular pop singer in the 80s, and he did it too. And he's white from the UK, and he did it, and people didn't jump up and down. And she's like, it's all right, I don't like it, but whatevs.
And if he'd come to you for them, what would you have said?
You'll be in the chair right there. I'd actually ask one of the customers to get up and get him straight in the chair. It's Justin Bieber.
Justin
He can do
Bieber.
whatever he wants.
Stephen Smith were with me.
So now you would think that this would be okay, but no, the BBC now says, let me bring in these three people so we can talk about this. And yeah, we want to talk. I'm going to go to the comments, but just look at this. This is Justin Bieber in another country, and this dreadlock thing made the BBC, and they got a panel for it. Like, they got a panel for this thing. Isn't that nuts? But I guess not.